We are live and only 1 minute behind. Incredible. Despite the fact that I have literally been out of the shower for a whole hot 8 to 9 minutes. Cutting things tight today, my friends. I had a day. But that's okay because we're here. We're here and we're live. And we got some freaking gorgeous nail polish to show y'all. Okay. I got my Pokeball out and everything. Little confession. For those of you who may not know, I never really played Pokemon. I've played Pokemon Go, but that's it. I've only played Pokemon Go. I never played any of the other games, and also I want to just arrange these by team here, and also I never watched any of the shows or anything, so so I might pronounce things incorrectly. And you're just going to have to cope with that. Okay? Hi, Naiwa, and hello and welcome, everybody. Yes, I know it's blasphemous. We have Arcana Lacquer here. Thankfully, my stepdaughter, who is a Pokemon fan, loaned me some Pokemon cards here. And I actually got... I bought a little Christmas tree ornament to pose with for my photos, but she also loaned me these cute little figures that she has. They're like, I guess they're like little fight pose little guys. I like this one. Little Pikachu. But unfortunately the ones that she loaned me didn't happen to be any of the ones that are featured in the collection. So I didn't end up using them except for my original setup photo with all of the different polishes. But they are kind of adorable, and so, I've had to sort of work them in where I can. I have no idea. I have no idea who this one is. I don't know who this is. I know the other three, so I'm not completely and totally without any knowledge, but I'm just... Here's the thing. I'm 48, okay? This was not part of my childhood, so... Yeah. I also, because I've had one of those days, I have not prepped my nails at all. So, while I am sort of talking about the collection, I'm also going to be putting on my base. So let me just pull up. Sorry, I gotta pull up all the info on these so that I can give you the correct... Litten is the name of that Pokemon? There you go. Litten, apparently. Which, is it a lit kitten? Is that what we're doing? Are we actually doing that? Is that a lit kitten? It better not be. I don't know if that's Abby or Brandy that's talking there, but y'all better tell me that is not a lit kitten, because I will be upset about that. Yeah, Pokemon Go was my very first exposure to anything beyond just sort of having a vague awareness that Pokemon existed. That was the first game that I ever played. And yeah, of course I had not seen any of the shows at all. So, but yeah, the Pokemon Go, I got seriously into it, so it was fun. Anyway, I did eventually stop playing it. So with this collection, we have two separate... I'm actually going to just arrange these a little bit like this, because I'm trying to capture stuff with both my overhead camera and my phone camera, because the overhead camera does the YouTube stuff. Mel Bellelephant says, Mel Bell Elephant, I lost a syllable there, says, I collected the cards based on which ones were cutest, and that, I suspect that you were not alone on that. I'm willing to bet that there were plenty of casual collectors who had nothing to do with the game and just liked how cute they were, and I suspect that's probably still the case. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed Pokemon Go, so that was fun. So yeah, so the collection is basically split in half. So we have 2 teams of 6, and I am assured by my Pokemon fan friends that this is the correct number of polishes. Which I would not have doubted, because I know that Abby and Brandy, the owners of Arcana Lacquer, are actually Pokemon nerds, among other things. They're just generally nerds. And I say that with love and respect, because I am also a nerd, just a different variety. So they each created their own team. This team is called the Cutie Patooties. And I'm just, like, I don't know for sure, but my guess is that they were selected 100% for their cutie patootiness, and not at all for their fighting ability or awesomeness. I'm just gonna guess, because these are, in fact, among the cutie patootiest of Pokemon, as far as my awareness of Pokemon goes. I'm actually, so this one is based on Snom, or inspired by Snom, and I had never heard of Snom until, like, I guess 2 years ago, when a friend of mine did a Snom manicure, and I just immediately fell in love. Why does Snom have a butt face? Like, is that, why is that a thing? Is it a butt? Are they hands? Are they cheeks? What is happening with Snom? Please, somebody explain to me. I love him. He is adorable, but what is happening with him? So that one's based on Snom. Ice scales, obviously a magnetic. Gorgeous. I love this. Sorry, Cutie Patrol. I'm sorry, Arcana, yes. Selected by their cutiness. Not Cutie Patooties, it's Cutie Patrol. I said Cutie Patootie because every single time I've had to type out the words Cutie Patrol, I have almost typed out the words Cutie Patootie. You get to the Cutie Put part, and obviously you want to do the Patootie instead of the Patrol. Those are his lips? Really? Those are his lips. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. All right, well, anyway, he is adorable. So yeah, this is Ice Scales, magnetic, based on Snom. So it's a silver magnetic pigment. Doesn't have a shift in the pigment. It's in the magnetic pigment itself. So it's got blue jelly and like a pale blue jelly base, and these iridescent blue-green flakes in it. So yeah, this one, super cute. We have Seed Sower. This one is based on Smoliv. And I think that they said that that it was, like, they kind of did the darker base because of the shiny version of Smoliv has a black olive instead of a green olive, and so it's got that, like, sort of dark plummy kind of hue to it. So yeah, I think that's pretty cute. So that one's Seed Sower based on Smoliv. Gengar, who I personally adore. And this one's a really interesting polish because, like, in a lot of the photos that I took, I had a hard time sort of capturing that red shift, which you definitely see in the bottle, but you really need to have the light at an angle. And the way that my standard studio lighting setup is, it doesn't tend to capture that as a general rule, so I did have to, like, take an additional photo or a couple of additional photos with the with the angle a little more extreme, and I'll make sure that that I show that to you. But yeah, so it's a real dark purple, beautiful flakes in it, and that gorgeous red shimmer. So that's Dream Eater. That one's based on Gengar. Honey Gather is based on Cutie Fly, and as you can see, this one has like a reflective pigment in it, and I can't recall if this is a yellow reflective pigment or if they said what color the reflective pigment is. Hang on. Oh yeah, okay, it's a yellow reflective glitter. So that golden sort of it's like almost like a sunflower kind of yellow base, and then it's got that shimmer in it that pulls it a little bit more like pinky and orangey at certain angles. So you can see that shimmer on the brush there as it moves around. I really like this one. Okay, and then we have Razor Leaf, which is, of course, based on Bulbasaur, because you can't do a Pokemon collection without doing a Bulbasaur. I'm kind of shocked that they had the gall to do a Pokemon collection without a Pikachu, but honestly, that guy's overrated, so... but yeah, this one's based on Bulbasaur, and obviously sort of has this like tealy, kind of turquoisey, kind of greeny kind of base. It's not quite what I would call a turquoise base, but it's like not really a straight up green either. It's kind of like somewhere in between. Definitely a very cool leaning green, but then the flakes in it give it a little bit more of that green tone, because they've got like that yellow to green sort of shift in some of them. I think it's a mix of different flake colors, if I recall correctly. Let me just see if I can find this description. Oh, okay, no, it's green to yellow flakes, and then the green to blue to yellow shimmer and green reflective glitter. So that is the official description. And yeah, you can see the reflective glitter mostly along the edges here. This lighting is not really set up to optimally show the reflective glitters, but you can definitely see them off to the sides. And then the last one on Cutie Patrol is Future Sight, because you cannot have a collection of the cutest Pokemon without having an evolution in there. So I'm so glad there was one, because I would have been very sad if there was not at least one Eevee or evolution represented somewhere in here. So, yes, as I said, I am not and never have been a big Pokemon player, but I do know about Espeon, okay? And yeah, Kat, there's so many evolutions that you can choose from, so you could pretty easily include one. I think you could do a whole collection that would be really nice out of just evolutions. I think that would be fun. Anyway, this has this like super intense, like magenta, hot pink kind of shimmer in it, and those red flakes. All in like a pink crelly, and this one built up really, really nicely and was so freaking cute. I ended up liking this one a lot more than I expected to, because like pink is not normally sort of one of the first things that I reach for. I don't dislike it, I'm not like anti-pink or anything, it just doesn't tend to always sort of wow me, but oh my gosh, I really liked this one actually on. I thought it was a really fun color. Okay, so that is the Cutie Patrol, and that's Brandy's half of the collection. So the other half of the collection, and I am going to swatch all these out, I do need to finish putting, let me just get my, I've only put my, blah, 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 peel off base on. So let me just throw my smoothing base on quick. So the other half of the collection is all Abby's selections. And so Abby's team is called the BFF Squad. So they're less like cute Pokemon. I don't know what her selection criteria was, but for the most part, they're all kind of like, they're all Pokemon that just have like really fun aesthetics to me. Like, I just really like a lot of them. And some of them were new to me. Like, I didn't know Tinkaton, and I didn't know Dragapult. But yeah, some of the other ones, obviously, like, I know Ponyta. That one's, like, obviously I'm going to know that one. Yeah, there's just a lot of, like, kind of badass Pokemon in hers. So I don't know. I don't know what her criteria was. If these are just, like, maybe these are sort of her team that she rolls with. That would be kind of fun. Or maybe she just chose ones that she thought would make a really cool look, and they certainly do. It's a fun little group of Pokemon to make polishes out of. Okay, so there's my smoothing base. All right, so here is the BFF Squad. Okay, so these 6 are Abby's picks. So we have Sacred Fire. This one here is inspired by Ho-Oh. So this one, it has the hollow magnetic pigment in it. So you're going to get, like, similar to My Life as a Shrimp and The Magician and some of the other ones that they've done. It's got the holographic magnetic, but it's also a thermal polish. So it goes from, like, a sort of bright, on me it was a slightly orangey red. Still definitely red, like you wouldn't call it orange at all. But it sort of had, it kind of leaned in that direction a little bit. To obviously like this sort of more dark burgundy-ish kind of color. And part of that is coming from the shimmer in it. Let me see what the actual description is. So it's a red to dark maroon thermal base with red to green shimmer and holographic magnetic pigment. So yeah, inspired by Ho-Oh because Ho-Oh is the rainbow bird. Apparently it is Abby who is with us in the chat in the Arcana Lacquer account tonight because she says they're just my homies. I like Pokemon that have cool designs or flavor. So there you go. They are actually definitely very cool. So I think they're all really fun ones. So this one was inspired by Tinkaton. Pickpocket. So this one is a hot pink jelly base. This obviously, with a jelly base, it is going to have to be built up. It's got some sheerness to it. So if you really hate any kind of visible nail line, you might want to have a blurring base for this. But it does build up. It was like, on me, it was like mostly opaque in 3 coats. But you have to have some of that translucency to really get a nice shift with these really delicate iridescent flakies that they've got in here. So it's got this blue to purple iridescent flake in a hot pink base. So, and I think, is there a reflective in this as well? Hang on, let me just double check that I'm not missing anything. Okay, no, this one does not have reflect. This is just a bright pink jelly base with different sizes of blue to purple flakes. Just want to make sure that I have the descriptions correct here. Now, Ancient Crystal is... Oh, you're both here? Okay, cool. So this one here is Ancient Crystal. And Ancient Crystal is inspired by a Pokemon I had never even heard of, I think. No, wait. Yeah, I had never heard of this one. Apparently, this is an ancient version of another Pokemon whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce because they're not actually relevant and I don't know how to pronounce it and I will mess it up. So anyway, it's inspired by Walking Wake. Oh my God, you guys can't see each other's chat messages? That's very funny. Oh, wow. That is very interesting. Okay, so this one, inspired by Walking Wake. Again, I had never heard of this Pokemon. This is a cyan base with purple shimmer and red-orange flakes. And an important thing to know about this is a jelly base, so it will be similar to Pickpocket, a little bit sheer and will need to be built up. However, the swatcher version of this polish was actually less opaque than they had intended. So I think my understanding is that with the actual version that ships out, it should be more similar to Pickpocket in terms of the opacity. This one came out just a little bit too sheer for the swatcher batch, and I will let Arcana speak on that if they have anything more to add or if I've gotten anything wrong there, but that is my understanding. So it will be a little bit sheer, but it won't be as sheer as it is on me when you get your bottle of it. This one right here. Okay, I got it right. Good. This one here is, obviously, for anybody who knows me, this one is my favorite of the collection. Yes, I pick favorites when I can, and I will treat them better. This one is Dragon Darts, and it's interesting. It's really kind of showing up. Is it just me, or is it showing up kind of green for you? Like it looks like it's showing up kind of green on my screen. It's not green. It does have a teal base. Okay, so Arcana is clarifying that for Ancient Crystal, what it looks like in 3 coats on me should be more like what you get in 2 coats for the final version. So yeah, it sounds like the opacity is going to be similar to Pickpocket, because 3 coats of this was similar to 2 coats of this on me. Okay. Anyway, Dragon Darts, it is a teal base. It is a magnetic, obviously, but this one, instead of having like a hollow magnetic pigment, it's a pale powdery blue. It's like a super, super, super icy blue. And the interesting thing with this one is that it's got this like pink to yellow shimmer pigment in it that you cannot see at all in the bottle right now. Holy heck. But it turns this polish almost purple at some angles. So it's really, really, really interesting. I freaking love this one. All right, next, Ceaseless Edge. Oh boy. Okay, so here's the problem with this one. It's not a problem with this, it's a problem with me. I don't know. Okay, it's inspired by Samurott, but it's inspired by Samurott from a specific region, and I don't know how to say that region. So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's inspired by Samurott. It is a thermal that is, this is the cold version of the thermal shift, and the warm version of the thermal shift is going to be like a bright sort of blue color. It's you'll see it on me. It's a slightly, like, I would say it leans a tiny bit periwinkle, but I don't know if that's just because of the shimmer that it sort of has a bit of warmth to it. And it also has a bit of red reflective glitter in it, and you can see the reflective a little bit there. When the light hits it, you can see a little extra sparkle in there. Okay, and then the last one on BFF Squad is Unique Horn. And this one is the one that is inspired by Ponyta. This is a thermal as well. And they describe this one as having a white to black base. On me, the base is, even in 3 coats, it's pretty much clear. Like it does build a little bit of a slight blur, but it is going to be pretty much clear in the warm. So if you like really hate seeing any nail at all, you might want a blurring base under this. But one of the things I really like about the fact that it is fairly translucent, or quite translucent when it is in the warm phase, is that you could like really play with this. Like you could put a different color underneath it and totally transform this polish, which I think is pretty fun. And I love these flakes it's got in it. So it's got the blue flakes for the shiny original Ponyta, and the red flakes for the red flakes for the regular, the blue flakes for the shiny. And then I think they said that the black, like the thermal base, is to represent the Galarian version of Ponyta. I guess it's got like a black horn. Is that a thing? I don't know. You love the Pokemon cards in the background? Thanks, my stepdaughter loaned them to me. I think these are all energy cards. All right. So, my nails are prepped and ready. Yeah, the Galarian Ponyta has a black horn. That's interesting. I always really liked Ponyta. I think it's super cute. So the problem that we're going to run into is that I have 10 nails and we have 12 polishes. So some of these are going to have to go on a wheel. But, you know, we can... Oh, her horn is black and white. Interesting. So I might let y'all choose which ones go on a wheel. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Just gonna get out a swatch ring for this. I'm going to start with the Cutie Patrol set of 6, and then do the BFF Squad. And I think because I have a little bit more, except for on my index, which broke again, I have a little bit more length on this hand, so I want to do Abby's BFF Squad on this hand because of the thermals. You'll be able to see a little bit, and then so I'm going to do the Cutie Patrol on this hand. Yeah, the thermals kind of have to go on the nails. And the magnetics I will definitely show more than one way, so I will do definitely at least some of them on the swatch ring, so that you can see what they look like with different kinds of magnetic dispersal. Okay, so I think I'm going to put Dream Eater on the ring from the Cutie Patrol, and then the rest of them on my nails, but also Snom, the Ice Scales one, will also go on the ring as a secondary magnetic style. Okay? So I am going to do... I'll start with Snom. Start with Snom on my thumbnail. Yeah, I think I'll do, because it's easier to do velvet on the actual nails, so Mel Bell Elephant suggests doing the cateye style on the ring. That is definitely, I think, the way to do it, because it's hard to do. You can do a velvet on like swatch sticks, but on a swatch ring, it is really difficult to do a good velvet. So as I recall, I'm trying to remember if I did 2 coats or 3 coats for this. Actually, I should check that. I think I did write it in my write-up on Instagram. I'm fairly certain. So let me just go over there and see what I wrote for that. Yes, so this one I ended up wearing in 3 coats. The velvet did not need 3 coats. Yeah, when you're doing like cateye or a ring magnet or something else that clears an area of the nail from all of the magnetic pigment, it often requires an extra coat. So I will do, let's see, I will do just a regular cateye here with Snom on the swatch ring. And that's the easiest way to do this. I'm trying to come up with, like, actually it might be easier for me to actually use I'm going to use a wand magnet for this. It's a little bit easier to hold it. I generally prefer using a bar magnet because it's a little stronger, but it shouldn't matter for this. Now, of course, on the swatch ring, because it is clear, it's going to look even more translucent than it would on your nail. But yeah, we'll do 3 coats for this regardless, because I would generally do 3 coats for a cat eye for this one, because it does clear a bit. So that's the first coat of ice scales. We'll set that aside and do some more in a little bit. And can I leave that under there without messing it up? I don't know, man. I feel like I've already messed it up a bit. Yeah, I've already messed up the cat eye a little bit. We'll just set that aside. Y'all, I'm spider jump scare, but I have a keychain that my magnet just fully attached itself to there. All right, we'll set that over there. Second one, I'm going to do Dream Eater, and this one I am going to do on the ring. Not because I don't love it, but because it'll be even easier to show you the different shifts. And this one, I believe, and I will double check it, but I believe I did 2 coats for this. It is pretty opaque. Obviously, it's going to look a little bit less opaque on clear, but let me just get a little bit of an angle here. You can see that red coming out when the light comes at the angle. Well, that's a... hang on. That light's got the weird... see if we can do it. There we go. See that red in there? So that's the sort of thing that you're going to see mostly, especially as you build up, you'll see more of it. But you're going to see mostly like in situations where, like if you're sitting at the computer and the light is coming from in front of you and you don't have overhead lights, you're definitely going to see that red. If you're like near a window and you don't have overhead lights on, again, the light's coming in at an angle and hitting your nails, you're definitely going to see that red. But you're not going to see it in, super direct lighting sort of situations. Like it's going to look purple in super direct lighting situations, like my studio lights, for instance. So that one is Dream Eater, first coat. I'm going to set this baby aside and we will go back to going on my nails for Seed Sower. This little guy, I really like this one. I just think it's cute. Based on Small Live, on the shiny Small Live, which is just... I hadn't seen the shiny before, and so I had to look it up, and I think it's extra cute that way. It's always disappointing when the shiny is like not as cute as the original. Or if they like barely change it. I really hate it when they don't really change anything and they're just like, oh no, it's a very slightly different shade of orange. You're like, okay, great, thanks. So there's the first coat of Small Live. You can see it's a sort of a plummy purple base on me. It is like a little... it's a little bit like a desaturated sort of plum color. So it's not like a super punchy in your face purple, but I really, really think it's a lovely shade. It's really quite perfect actually for, I think that they said that they were sort of going for like Kalamata olive style, which I think they really nailed. It's very cute. All right, and then Honey Gather. Again, this one is inspired by Cutie Fly. You know what? I went and did the wrong hand over here. I was supposed to be doing the thermals on this hand and the other guys on this hand. All right, well, we're just gonna switch over here. We're gonna put Honey Gather on this side. You know, y'all ought to tell me when I say I'm gonna do one thing and then start doing exactly the opposite of that. Like, I blame you. You're all literally sitting there listening to me, in theory listening to me, and in theory watching what I'm doing. This is your fault. Polished Bookworm, I blame you specifically. Hi. Alright, this is Honey Gather, based on Cutie Fly. Sorry for the state of my hands. I was doing some scrubbing earlier, and they's dry, and also this is my right hand, and also whatever, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anybody. Ray, you don't know anything about Pokemon except the original 150? Yeah, that's like me as well. Because I only played Pokemon Go. I really only know whatever was in Pokemon Go up until the time that I stopped playing it, which was like early pandemic. So, so you can see that reflective when the light hits just right at the angle. You see that little bit of like shimmery, glittery sort of thing happening there. Obviously, it comes out a lot more when there's flash, but I don't have like a way to show you that. You played Pokemon Go for all of a week, but it was buggy AF, so you quit. All right. So next one here is Razor Leaf, and this is the one that's based on Bulbasaur. May is a full-on guru, absolutely. That would be, some of you might know her as Omnomnomina. May, she's a big old Pokemon fan, and she does nail art, but she also streams Pokemon and presumably other stuff on Twitch. So here's the first coat of Razor Leaf. And this is another one that's like a jelly base that's going to build up. I was pretty happy with the opacity of this with 3 coats. It builds up quite nicely. Again, with anything where you've got like a translucent, like iridescent flake, you do have to have some translucency in the base. You can't do like a real opaque base and have translucent flakes and expect to be able to see the flakes. So, Bulba is your favorite, baby? Yeah, Sassy. We're talking about May. We're talking about May because we're talking about Pokemon, and you can't really talk about Pokemon in this group of people without also talking about May. All right, and this is the one that is inspired by Espeon. And it's so cute. Oh, I like this one. I like this one a lot. This one's just, it builds up so cute. You're gonna love it. I really like the shimmer in this one. So that's Future Sight. Yes, Ponyta and Bulbasaur are both from the original 150. Yeah, me too, Alyssa. I love this pink. There's just, and you know, like, I don't always love a pink, but this one really appeals to me. I just think it's a really cute one. And it's actually like coming out at such a perfect time, because how adorable will this be for Valentine's nails? Like, this is such a perfect Valentine's Day sort of nail polish. Okay, Next one is going to be Sacred Fire. So this is a thermal and magnetic that's inspired by Ho-Oh. So we are going to choose one of my longer nails. Not that I have a whole lot in the way of length right now, but we're going to do what we can. And I will also put this one on actually going to do this with velvet, and I'm also going to put this one on a swatch ring to show you the cat eye, but I'm going to do velvet in here. And I'm going to apologize in advance for the angle that I'm not going to be able to show you a really good angle here with the velvet for application. But so you can see it's like a darker sort of burgundy color at the tip where it's a little cooler, and where you don't have the magnetic showing through, you've got that like real red sort of color, and then the magnetic is a hollow magnetic, which this lighting, you're not going to see a whole lot of the hollow flare, especially not with the way these cameras are set up. But in the sunlight, it's got a really nice hollow flare. I'm seeing Control Manny saying, and it's good for Valentine's Day too. What did I say? Did I not say Valentine's Day? Did I say something else? What did I say? Because sometimes I say crazy shit and like I don't actually hear myself. So you need to tell me if I said something crazy. I did mean it's going to be a really cute Valentine's Day, Manny. So if I said something different, oh boy, I'm going to be laughing at myself when I go back over the footage later. I might end up having to grab a cup of cold water at some point so I can show you the transitions on this, but I will show you on the ring magnet, obviously, or the ring magnet, the swatch ring, obviously it is going to be the cool state, so you'll be able to see it on that at least. I said it after you did in chat. Oh, well, I guess I had looked away from chat. Okay. Y'all, it's a good thing we can all agree on laughing at me. Melbell Elephant says it's not the length, it's what you do with it. Yeah. That was the last stream, okay? Last Thursday we were having that conversation. This Thursday we're talking about Pokemon. It's the Pokemon collection. All right. Okay, here we go. And so that is the first coat with the cat eye style in the cold. And wait, where did I put this? I put that on here. So there's the warm versus the cold. So the warm velvet versus the cold cat eye. And this actually I found even like on the clear it might want a third coat, but even with the cat eye on my nails, I only did 2 coats of this one. It was really very opaque on me, even with the cat eye style. It was fun. I should watch the VOD. Well, the VOD doesn't tell me when the doesn't show me the chat, so I won't be able to see that, but that's okay. Okay, next, that was the whole, no, I have not done, oh my god, what have I done? Okay, I did Seed Sower, that's this one. I did Future Sight, that was this one. I did Razor Leaf, that was this one. I did the Gengar one, Dream Eater, that was this one. Y'all, I confused myself. You see what I did? Honey Gather is this one. And Ice Scales is this one. Okay, so that's the Cutie Patrol is all done. And we did one of the BFF All right, we're good. We're good, y'all. We're under control. Okay, next one's going to be Pickpocket, and I'm going to do Pickpocket on this hand. So Pickpocket is the one that's inspired by Tinkaton. This one is going to be a 3-coater for most people, unless you like it real sheer, because this is, in fact, a more sheer jelly. So if you like sheer stuff, then, you know, maybe you'll only want 2 coats, but if you don't like to see a VNL, you're probably going to want 3. I used 3. And it's nice, actually, that these two are close together because you'll be able to see how different the color is between the two of them. This is a sort of a warmer pink base, I think, to begin with. And they build up really, really different. Yes, hi Plant Nerd Broom. Yes, it's Pokemon night. Okay, the next one is Ancient Crystal, and I'm going to do that one on my pinky here, and I'm going to remind y'all that this is the one that the swatcher version of it was sent out more translucent than it was intended, so it will be a little more opaque, the version that goes out to customers. And so take the opacity with a grain of salt. The opacity will be similar to what you see on this one here. So it should build up about the same. But it's going to be a little less opaque in the swatcher version that I have. So, which will become more obvious as we get to the 3rd coat. The 2nd and 3rd coat, you'll see the difference. So that is Ancient Crystal based on Walking Wake. Okay, let's do Unique Horn. Unique Horn based on Ponyta. And this one I'm going to do on this nail here because I want some free edge to give us some chance to at least be able to see some of that thermal shift. And this one, I did not expect to like this one as much as I did. This one surprised me. Like, I knew I was going to like it, but it surprised me by ending up being one of my favorites of the collection. Like, y'all know I love magnetics, and so when I tell you that the magnetics are the favorites in my collection, you're like, yeah, of course the magnetics are the favorites in the collection, Peggy, like, duh. But this one, ooh, the flakes in this. I really, really, really like the flakes in this. It's super pretty. The way it builds up is just gorgeous. And even like in the warm, when it's like almost clear and pretty much what you're getting is like the big old flakes on a slightly sort of blurred nail. Gosh, it is just gorgeous. This one I did wear in 3 coats. I think, that kind of just gave me a level of flakiness that I really liked. You could probably do 2, but I think most people are probably going to want to have a 3rd coat on this one. Oh gosh. Here's the unfortunate thing is that I've put myself in a situation where I have to have either Dragon Darts or Ceaseless Edge on the swatch sticks, and I think that means Dragon Dart has to be swatch stick because Ceaseless Edge is a thermal, and we need to have it on the nail for sure. So this one is the one that is based on Samurott. And whoop, that's a little bit too much for my pinky. It's a really, really pretty one. And it is going to be, of course, mostly blue once my finger warms it up, because I do run hot. We're getting there. It'll definitely be all blue in a minute. Okay. And while that baby warms up, let's get Dragon Darts on the swatch stick. And we'll do the wand first. You know, if I'd planned this better, I could have had dragon darts on a nail and a swatch stick, but I did not. That's okay. I'll just put dragon darts on my nails again later on, because I really like it. I think it is so pretty. See how bright that blue line is, though? You can see it over here. Just like, bing! Super bright. I really like how frosty that blue is. I think it's just gorgeous. I want to try to do this. Oh, you know what? I can probably do it on, I'm going to do it on a Sharpie. Hang on. Peggy, what do you mean you're going to do it on a Sharpie? That's crazy. You can't put nail polish on a Sharpie and have that be in any way useful. Just trust me, y'all. Trust me. Trust me. I have a method. Some of you have seen it before, I bet. I think I've done this in a stream before. I got, where are my... Come on. Hold up. Everybody just be patient. Quit panicking. I got some sticky tack. Don't need quite that much sticky tack. Just need a little bit of sticky tack. Alright, we got our sticky tack. We got our little, we got our little fake nail. This is the wrong size for me. It's too big. I'm gonna just mush that on the end of my Sharpie. Oh yeah, there we go. Y'all, the day I figured out that I could do this, whew, I almost gave myself a Nobel Prize for this. But then I found out that you can't just give those to yourself, unfortunately. So, here we go. We're going to do velvet style on a fig nail attached to a Sharpie, because it's about the right size to fit perfectly into a velvet setup. Ta-da! How dare. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Y'all knew that was going to be my favorite from the collection, right? On a fig nail. Was my accent showing? We'll just let that sit in there for a moment. And then we'll go back in for a second coat with everything. Alright? Does anybody have any questions at this point? Anything that you, if there's like ones from previous collections that you want like comparisons with or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask. I can do those as well for you. Ooh, look at that. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Is there a kitty snoring? I don't hear her right this second, but she may have let out a snore or two. She's been known to do that. Alright, I'm going to set that aside and try really hard not to hit it with anything while we go back for round 2 here. So this is Ice Scales. This is, again, this is the one that is based on Snom. And I think this one is such a cute winter shade. I really like how frosty this is. It's just so pretty. So you could probably get away with 2 coats for the velvet style. I did end up doing it in 3. You can see in the cleared area just a little bit of translucency, which is why I ended up going in for that 3rd coat. Especially with the cateye, when I show it on the ring, you'll see in a moment, because that's going to have a little more noticeable translucency in the cleared area when you do the cat eye style. So, second coat. I really think this one's cute. I like see that, like, the blue iridescent flakes in that cleared area? I just think they're really cute. There's something about a blue iridescent flake, kind of just, not necessarily just blue, but like iridescent flakes peeking out behind a frosty magnetic. Just really, it makes me happy. Okay. Yeah, I really, really love the blue sheen on that. All right. Here we are. There's second coat of ice scales on the cat eye. And I'm just gonna let that sit without moving for a moment before I show it to y'all, because I don't want to mess up the line prematurely. We'll do the Gengar polish here, Dream Eater. We'll do the second coat of that. It also goes on the swatch stick. This was one of the ones that did not make it onto my nail because sadly I do not have 6 fingers on each hand. Okay. There we are. So I can show you both of those at once. So there's that gorgeous blue shimmer and iridescent flake action in the ice scales. And there's Gengar, that super dark purple. You can see a little bit of that red shimmer coming in at the edges. Gotta have the good light angles for that. You can start to see it at some angles here. My light is very, very, very direct here, so it makes it a little bit harder to see the really strong shimmer at the edges there. You can see that super, super red as it goes around there. And I'll have to edit that into the YouTube version since they don't get the phone version. I don't get all the phone footage. So this one, I'm pretty sure I wore it in 2 coats on my nails. You could, if you have real long nails, you might want 3, but yeah, it's, unless you really hate any kind of VNL, you'll probably be fine with 2 for this one, I think. That's my opinion. Small Live, my little tiny friend. Seed Sower. Let's get our Pokeball back. All right, get our second coat of Small Live's Kalamata Olive inspired shiny polish. I really think this one is so cute. It's such a nice color. Like I mean, I have a bunch of like polishes that are sort of in this prugly category with like, a green shimmer on some other color. Sometimes, like a taupe or a purple or something, but this particular one, I think it's a really nice combo. I don't know. It feels very cozy to me. It feels like a cozy combo. All right. Let's move over to the second coat of Honey Gather. And so this one, because it does have a bit of reflective pigment in it, which you can see when the light is at the right angle, it does dry down with a little tiny bit of texture, but it's not like, because the reflective pigment in it is not sort of like a massive pile of it. It's sort of more of a smattering of reflective pigment. It doesn't have that sort of sandpapery feel that it can sometimes have when you have reflective pigments in a polish. So I found that I didn't have that weird, you know, that feeling where you're like, you've put, you know, 2 coats of regular top coat on it and it still just feels. So yeah, that is Honey Gather. That one's inspired by Cutie Pie. Cutie Fly, sorry. brain doing so good today. And then Razor Leaf. This is the Bulbasaur inspired one. And second coat of this. Super cute. It's just cute. I really like the shimmery, flaky goodness in this. It just gives it a nice little sparkle. And you can see, like, when the green flakes, when you're sort of looking more up close, you can see that the base is actually more turquoisey than it is green. Even though at a distance, the sort of overall vibe is more green. Joester Core, you love my fishy stacked ring. I'm pretty sure I got it. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon, actually. I have a mix of like cheap rings from Amazon and like really nice rings from small brands. And I'm pretty sure that one is an Amazon one. But yeah. All right, next one up is the Espeon one. So this is Future Sight. And second coat here. This one, I think, you know, this one I did wear it, I'm pretty sure in 3 coats. It is acrylic, so, you know, if you have real short nails, you might be able to do 2 coats and be happy with it. With free edge, you probably want a 3rd coat. But yeah, I really like this shimmer in this one. I like hot magenta shimmer on this super soft, sort of lovely little cozy pink. And I love these red metallic flakes. It's like such a good little Valentine's Day mani. Definitely gonna have to pull this one out and do something adorable with it. And then Pickpocket, based on Tinkaton. And this one, again, it's got the jelly base, iridescent flakes. Look at the blue. Can you see that blue flash in the iridescent flakes? It looks so cool. So this one, you're going to want 3 coats most likely to build it up. Unless you want more of a, you know, a sheer juicy sort of look to it. Okay, and then this one is Ancient Crystal. I almost called it Walking Wake because that is the name of the Pokemon that it is based on. But it is actually called Ancient Crystal. There we go. And again, this one, there was a bit of an error with the swatcher copy, the swatcher batch of this. So it is a little more translucent than they had anticipated or they intended. So it should be slightly more opaque than this. It will still definitely be like a jelly, so it will have some translucency to it, but not quite as translucent as this. You can see it's a little more sheer than the pink one beside it. So, okay, what's next? Who's next? Didn't do these guys yet. Sacred Fire. This is the Ho-Oh one, which is both thermal and magnetic. So we'll do our second coat with the velvet style on the nail, and then we'll do the second coat with the cateye on the ring magnet. And when my nails are a little bit short like this, it can be really difficult for me to show thermals because I run really hot. I warm up a lot. And for me to be able to have, if I don't have a lot of free edge, for me to show you a thermal, I basically need to be in a, like, it needs to be winter and I need to be outside because my hands are hot, even outside. Literally, I'll be walking around outside in the wintertime and my husband will have mittens on and his hands stuck in his pockets and he's like, his hands are cold and I'm like, hands swinging freely with no protection whatsoever and they're hot. So it's just that my hands radiate heat. So it is difficult for me to show the cool thermal on my nails when they are a little bit shorter like this. But we do get a little bit of it. And you will see it on the cateye version a little better here on the ring. So let's do the second coat on the ring. Because the ring is obviously only going to have the cold shift. And again, this one, this is a rare magnetic where I only used 2 coats, even for the cateye version, because it's just really, even when it's in its warm phase and cateye, I still found it just really opaque. So for me, 2 coats was good with this one. You know, obviously that's going to depend a little bit on your application style. I know that I don't think that I paint super thick, but I know that there are definitely people out there who are painting a lot thinner than me. So if you are one of those people, you may want a 3rd coat of it. May. Omnomnomina. Omnomina. I give you an extra syllable all the time. Why do I do that? I think it's because I want to say nom. You are here very late. We were talking about you, May. We were saying terrible things about you. We were like really insulting. So it's probably good that you didn't come earlier. No, we were talking about you being our Pokemon guru of the community. Here's certainly my source of all Pokemon information. So there is the cold state for Sacred Fire. I wonder if I can get it to warm up just by putting my finger under it here. Let's give that a second and see if I can get it to warm up. Oh yeah. Oh, she's warming up. All right, we'll just hold this here for a second and see if I can see how well I can show you my show you the thermal shift on the ring. That's pretty good. And of course, there it is on my finger where I have very little free edge to show you the darker shift, but you can see the velvet. There we go. That's a pretty good transition there on the ring. So that has the holographic magnetic pigment and the thermal base. All right, next one, we're gonna do Unique Horn, 2nd coat. Yes, May, you do need that one. I agree. So 2nd coat for Unique Horn. And for me, the goal of multiple coats on this is mostly about getting the flake density, because in the warm phase, it's never going to be like fully opaque for this, because it is like sort of a real translucent warm phase. But getting the flake density right is sort of more what I'm going for here. So I really liked the way it looked in 3 coats. I think 2 is fine as well, but I want a 3rd coat for flake density so I can get some really nice black and red flashes in there. They're really quite intense, especially when it's in the cold phase. So if you run colder than I do, which I know a lot of people do, I know a lot of people that have real cold hands all the time, and struggle to see the warm phase, you'll find that the color intensity on these flakes is really, really nice. They're very flashy when it's darker. But I also really like sort of the frosty effect they give when it's in the warm phase. It's really quite delicate and lovely. All right, next we are going to do Ceaseless Edge, which is another thermal one. This is the Samarot. And again, it's one of those, I'm not going to be able to show you the cool as effectively because my nails are a little bit shorter and I run hot, but the warm phase gets real blue on me. And I really like the shimmer that's in here. So you can see when it's in its warm phase, it's very like purple with that super red shimmer in it. And in the cool phase, on me, it sort of leans toward, sort of when it gets all the way warm, which it isn't quite yet, it sort of leans periwinkle. This one really grew on you, Core. I really like this one. Yeah, I think it's super pretty, and I don't know that it's one that I would necessarily have like immediately gone, ooh yeah, that one's for me, but I do really like it on. I think it's just really pretty. And it's a fun wear. All of the thermals in this are very, very responsive, which is a problem for me because I do run so warm. And because my nails are not long enough right now. But yeah, if you aren't literally an oven at all times, then you might really get a kick out of these. Okay, and then the last one we need to do a second coat on is my very, very favorite, the latest love of my life, Dragon Darts. Where is my... Here we are. This is the magnetic, inspired by Dragapult. One of those new to me Pokemon. So we'll get it in the cateye there. Yeah, I think it is really unique, the Samarot one, Ceaseless Edge. I don't know that I've seen one quite like that before. I really like it. But yeah, this Dragon Dart, this one's like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh no, that one's it. That's the fave. That's the standout from the collection for me, because I just, well, I mean, I love a magnetic, I love a shimmer, I love a frosty. So it's just, and I love the blues and the turquoises, and so, you know, it's kind of hitting everything for me. So there is our cateye. And I'm not leaving it for a real long time, so I am getting some dispersal, but you know, obviously the longer you leave it on the magnet, the better your line is going to be. Okay, and then the velvet version of that, which we're doing on my little mock fingernail here. I think I use this Sharpie more for this than I do to actually write with. it kind of just usually has a nail on it. I recently got rid of one because I think it had like 8 or 12 layers of magnetic pigment on it, because I often test. I'll just do like a coat over top of whatever's there when I'm just testing. I didn't want to do that for this because I want you to actually see the color as it is. Yeah, the shimmer really shows when the magnetic is cleared. So at certain angles, all you're getting pretty much is just that icy magnetic pigment. And then at other angles, when the icy magnetic pigment is sort of like cleared, you're getting a lot of that shimmer. So I really like that. It's super pretty. So yeah, it just totally depends on the angle for this. It basically goes from icy blue to dark purpley, indigo-ish. Now, some of these do want a third coat. I think I should probably go ahead and do a third coat on stream, even though it does mean stream is going to run a little long, but y'all are just going to have to put up with me, because I think some of these really benefit from a third coat. So there is Dragon Darts Velvet. Oh, she beauty. Oh, she beauty. Love it. Okay, set that aside. And we will go back to this one, which I don't think necessarily Polished Ashes immediately wooing. Immediately launching a woo in the chat. Hello, welcome. Did I say it's called Dragon Darts? Yeah, it's called Dragon Darts. This one. It's called Dragon Darts. It's based on Dragapult. Okay, so third coat. Although I don't think that this one necessarily needs a third coat in the velvet style. I will put it on because at certain angles I do think it certainly doesn't hurt to have the third coat in here. So you get that frosty silver magnetic. Where it clears, you've got more of the blue shimmer and blue flaky, iridescent flaky action. So this one is inspired by Snom, of course. This is Ice Scales. Polished Ashes, you've been really interested in Arcana. You haven't got any yet? Well, maybe this is the collection that's finally going to get you, because it's a good collection. It's a good collection, and it's a nerdy collection, and we love a nerdy collection. Arcana does it well. Divorce is expensive. Oh. Jestercore, you just got Magician and Edict of Bane in the mail and then saw this launching tomorrow. Yeah. Those are great choices, though. I really, especially the Magician, man, I loved the Magician. The Magician vibes a little bit like Dragon Darts, but actually is quite a bit different. I ended up sort of doing a little bit of a comparison for myself, because I was like, I mean, they're obviously different. They have a different magnetic pigment. They have a different base, but like there was something about them that kind of vibed similar. So I ended up trying them out side by side just to sort of satisfy myself. But yeah, they're quite a bit different. Yeah, May, you definitely need the Snom one. Ice Skills, for sure. It's super cute. All right. So there is Ice Scales, 3 coats, velvet. Next, let's take care, actually, let's take care of the Gengar polish net. Oh wait, no, Peggy, don't get ahead of yourself. You gotta do Snom's third coat in Cateye. Y'all, I swear, somebody needs to keep me in better control because I am just a wreck. Alright, third coat, Cateye, ice scales. Let that sit for a moment before I pick it up. So with the Cateye, I would definitely do a third coat of this, even though I don't think it necessarily totally required for the velvet. But for the Cateye, I would definitely do it because the amount, like the pigment clearing in this does leave it a little bit on the translucent side. So I think most people will prefer to have a third coat there so that that crelly base gets built up a little more. You're not the one to be doing any controlling of anything? Yeah. Yeah, me neither. Okay, Dream Eater. This is Gengar's polish, and if Gengar was going to wear polish, I think this is the one he, she, or they would wear. I'll just, I don't have this one on one of my own nails. I only have it on the swatch stick because I only have 10 nails. And I'm going to take this up and show you at an angle, and if someone could just screenshot that and send it to me so that I can include that in the YouTube version. You can see that really nice, super strong red shimmer that comes out at angles, and the rest of the time it's just this intensely dark, rich, gorgeous purple. Look, polished ashes, I'm not saying I want to be kept under control at all times. I'm just saying that some of the chaos should be contained to some extent, in as much as I would like y'all to be able to see all the things that I intended to show you. That's all. Do what again, Ray? What am I doing again? Let me get third coat of Small Lives polish here. Seed Sower. Not entirely convinced this one necessarily needs a third coat. I think, especially with shorter nails, I like this one in two. Third will bring out a little bit more of the shimmer. You know, if you have real short nail, or real long nails, and hate visible nail line, maybe a third coat is good, but Ray, you pulled out too slow. It's okay, May got a shot. Alright, so there's that. Let me give you a better... So this one is not like a... Someone was asking about how it compares to some of the other polishes. It's not like a super shifty shimmer. It does shift a little bit into teal, but it's not... there's a couple of polishes on the market right now that... actually, if one of you can get a shot of that, that might be useful as well. But yeah, there's a couple of polishes on the market that people have asked me if this is sort of similar to them as well. Including, I think, like one of the Mooncats, and I don't think it's really like those at all, in part because those are very shimmer forward, to the point that the shimmer almost completely takes over the base color in a lot of lighting, and they also have a super shifty shimmer, so it goes all the way blue, or even into an almost indigo at the edges. And so I don't feel like this is like those really at all. It's a very different kind of vibe for me, and while it can look a little bit similar in specific lights, this to me is very much more of like, it's giving Kalamata olive. It's very much like that's the vibe. So yeah, I think it's quite unique from those. All right, next one we're going to do is Honey Gather. We'll get our third coat, and again, like, yeah, there's a tiny little bit of reflective texture, but it's really not, it's not a highly textured polish. It's not the kind of sandpapery reflective. So as I said before, when I built this up before, I used 3 coats, and I did not feel that I needed to do anything more than just 1 coat of my regular top coat, and it was fine. If you're more sensitive to me than me, maybe you would want a second coat, but I don't know. I just don't think it's very, it's just not super textured. Look at the intensity of that shimmer though. See that? Like that, it goes that like pinky corally kind of shimmer. It's just, oh, I love it. It warms up this already like sort of golden yellow base. Like, it's a warm base to begin with, and then it just, the shimmer really pulls it even more into that sort of glowing amber kind of range. I think it's really pretty. All right, back to Bulbasaur. Polished Ashes gives BKL the Surreal vibe. Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely not like the Surreal, but it's a Prugly in a similar sort of vibe family. All right, this one is Razor Leaf. I don't remember if I actually said that for this third coat, but this is Razor Leaf, inspired by Bulbasaur. A must because that was your first Pokemon starter ever. I think that's probably true for a lot of people. I really like it. I think it's cute. And it really does vibe exactly like the OG Bulbasaur. Like, it's that combo of the sort of turquoise and the leafy green. It's really pretty. I think it's cute. I like it a lot. If you have real long nails and your application is thinner than mine and you really hate VNL, maybe you're going to want a blurring base for this. It does have a little translucency even after 3 coats, but it's just that jelly thing. They often, don't entirely go 100% opaque. And I think that's fine. But not everybody likes that, so that's okay too. Third coat for Future Sight. This is the Espeon polish. And I'm repeating myself, but, not everybody will have been here the whole time, so just think Valentine's Day. That's your Valentine's Day mani done in 3 coats. That's it. That's all you need. It's real cute. I really like the shimmer. I really like the flakies. I think they're cute as heck. They make me happy. That is all. It's just real cute. And next up, we've got Pickpocket. This is the one that is inspired by Tinkaton, who, again, I was unfamiliar with. But I am all about a small femme-coded monster with a big-ass hammer. So I thought she was real cute when I looked her up. There we go. So that is 3 coats. And again, this is a jelly, so you're going to get a little translucency still in there. But it does, for me, kind of, it's like most of the way opaque. If you really hated VNL, you could put a blurring base under this. Yeah. For me, I really like the way it looks in 3 coats. I think the opacity is nice for this one. That's Pickpocket. And then the one that's inspired by Walking Wake, called Ancient Crystal. This is the one that oh my goodness. Sorry about that. This is the one that the swatcher batch came out a little bit more translucent than was intended. So if you order this, the batch that you get, the opacity will be more like with Pickpocket, where it'll be most of the way to opaque with the third coat. Whereas on the swatcher batch of these, it's... All right, so where are we here? We need the BFF Squad guys over here. So, third coat, unnecessary. I don't even think I want to bother because Sacred Fire absolutely does not need a third coat. But what I will do, because this is a hollow magnetic, I'm going to put a top coat on this one in the vain hope that that you'll actually be able to see a little bit of the hollow flare. My lighting is not... my stream lighting is not set up really to show off the hollow. It's really difficult to get stream lighting such that it will work for both the overhead light and the phone light at the same time, and also capture hollow. But we'll do our best here. On the right side, you can totally see that thermal line now. Look at that. The top coat is good for something other than just showing off hollow. That's a nice clean one. But yeah, I think you can see a little bit of the hollow flare at some angles. Let me just actually see if I can get you a better... Oop! My charger block just fell. Well, I don't know if we're quite capturing it, but maybe a little bit. The phone is really bad at catching the hollow, I find, too. Mine is. It sucks at it. Anyway. So that is the velvet version of Sacred Fire in 2 coats with a top coat, which you will obviously want because, yeah. Because you just will, y'all. You want good hollow, you gotta use top coat. That's just how it works. Let's do this as well. And even on the clear swatch stick, it's pretty opaque in just 2 coats. So I'm just gonna do a top coat on this one as well. It is a little easier, I think, to see the hollow flare with the cateye in this lighting setup. But I found when I went out in the sunshine with this as done as velvet, it was very hollow. Yeah, Ray, phone always flattens the hollow. It's really something about the way that they process hollow, reflective. They just really it wants to flatten everything that's too bright or too vivid, like it thinks it's a lie. You know? Sorry, pardon me, I'm gonna blow my nose. Apologies. Just trying to keep from sniffling like crazy. Okay. So, there is our top coat. And yeah, you can see the hollow a little easier there in the cat eye in this light. It works out pretty nicely. At least I can see it a little better. Hopefully y'all can as well. But yeah, this one, if you live in an area that has sun at this time of year, do this baby velvet, get you a nice top coat, go out into the sun, and just admire that. It's real pretty. And I really like that color shift for the thermal. It's just real nice. It's real nice, y'all. Alright, next thermal, baby, is Unicorn. Unicorn. It's going to be third coat. Hello, numerous bees. So many bees have entered the chat. Anybody with an allergy? Please make sure you have your EpiPen handy. I'm kidding. Numerous bees would never hurt a fly, or a bee, or a person. So here is third coat, and you'll see as it warms up to my body temperature, it goes pretty much clear. Except for that tip. I really, really love the flakes in this. It's just good. It's just good, y'all. I'm just saying, it's good. Let's just take a moment and appreciate those flakes. And I'm gonna have to put some like close-up photos in the, because let me tell you, the YouTube camera is not getting any of this. It's like at totally the wrong angle. That's okay though. We don't care about those YouTube people. Let's get Ceaseless Edge on. All right, so Ceaseless Edge, you can see this is 2 coats. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna, well, yeah, okay, I will. I'll put a third coat on because you can kind of see, you can see a little bit of a visible nail line there. So we'll go ahead and put a third coat on. But you can see that it's, it really sort of, like it's blue, but it leans into purple, which I think is mostly the shimmer. It's just like a tiny bit more purple than periwinkle in the warm area. I put too much on my brush. And then yeah, with the shimmer when it's in the cold state, it is just like so vampy. I really like that shimmer. So this is Ceaseless Edge. This is the one that is inspired by Samarot. You're still debating this one, Maymay? I think it is a really unique one. I haven't seen one quite like this. I think it's really pretty, personally. There we are. And then the last one, Dragon Darts. We're back to Dragon Darts again. Let's get that cat eye going here. And again, I feel like with Dragon Darts, you don't necessarily need the third coat. Do I even want to put a third coat on this? Do I need to put a third coat on this? I don't know, like, I kind of feel like it doesn't really need it. Maybe we'll just do, like we did with the other one, we'll just do top coat. Now this one doesn't have hollow in it, so you're not going to be bringing that out when you put on the top coat, but I do think it is still worth doing. It kind of just, I don't know, I always feel like top coat kind of brings everything together. Especially if a polish doesn't dry like super, super, super shiny. It just kind of pulls all the elements together, in my opinion. You need to be good and not spend too much because you bought the Kuromi headset because you have zero self-control. Okay, but to be fair, a Kuromi headset sounds like a good life choice to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. It does sound like the correct thing. Ah, shit. For some reason, that just like totally moved. I think I must have smacked it. All right, let's just move this out of the way. Let's just move that out of the way. Get the top coat on here. Cause yeah, I don't think this one needs. I think I'm gonna sneeze again, y'all. What the hell? Yeah, it's gonna happen. Maybe it's not gonna happen. Seriously? Oh, Oh my God. Don't you hate it when the sneeze is like on its way and it's coming and it's going to happen, and then as soon as you like resign yourself to the sneeze, it goes away. It just seems rude, you know? Because now I'm like, I need to blow my nose, but I didn't even get to sneeze. I didn't even get the sweet, sweet release of sneezing. I'm just snuffly. The other magnet was too close. It did magnet things. Oh, did it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. I forgot because it would have gotten too close to this end. Thank you, Ray, for noting that. Your wife holds her sneezes in? How? Like, how is that even... You can't. You can't hold sneezes in. That's crazy. That sounds like some kind of bizarre, obscure superpower. All right, so there's the just 2 coats of Dragon Darts, done velvet style. And that one is 2 coats of Dragon Darts done cateye style. And just the 2 coats plus a top coat for those guys. That one as well is just 2 coats and a top coat for Arcane Fire. Arcane Fire? Am I saying, is that the right one? Sacred Fire. Jesus. Sacred Fire. In the cold phase, and then I have it here, Velvet in the warm phase. And that's just 2 coats. Snom, I ended up doing a 3rd coat on. I think everything else I ended up doing a 3rd coat on. So those are the only ones that I did not do, that I only did in 2 coats. You hold your sneezes and it comes out your ears? What the fuck is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you? That's not okay. First of all, you should not be connected that effectively. Like, I understand that you can change the pressure in your ears by like increasing the pressure in your nose, but oh my God, look what I've done. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh God. It's a good thing that, so I told Rachel when I asked to borrow these, I was like, maybe just make sure that whatever you give me, you won't be heartbroken if I get nail polish on it. And I got through all of my swatching, all of my filming and photographs and everything without getting a single speck of nail polish on anything. But that, oh my God, Maymay, really? You can hurt your throat by holding your sneezes? That sounds wild. Pardon me, sorry for blowing my nose again, but that sounds like super unpleasant. Okay, despite the fact that I dinged that quite badly, still freaking gorgeous. That's it, guys, we're done. We did all the things. We managed to swatch out 12 polishes, 3 coats for most of them, in an hour and 45 minutes, with me talking the entire time. Oh my God. So much talking. So much talking. I can't even get these all in frame. Like, look at this. It cannot be done. This is a huge collection, y'all. Availability. When are they available? I feel like, is it tomorrow? Do they release tomorrow? Let me just double check. Hang on. Hang on. Yes. Tomorrow, January 10th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time at arcanalacquer.com. Both teams will be available as a set. So you can do the set of 12. You can do the teams. So you can do just the Cutie Patrol team or just the BFF Squad team. Or you can also buy them individually. So yes, all the options. You have all the options. I don't see pricing, and I don't think they gave me pricing when they sent me the info for it. I'm just seeing what they have on their own posts. I don't see any pricing information on the posts. So we'll have to see if prices are on the site. Okay. I was about to see if they were already on the site to go look at them. So I am going to go poke over to the site on my iPad. So they are all up on the site, and it looks like some of them are 12, some of them are 13 individually. So like the jellies, it looks like the jellies are all 12. The magnetics and thermals are 13. Nope, just the magnetics are 13. The ones that are thermal and not magnetic, and the ones that are jelly are 12. So they're all 12 or $13. And then let me see if, where are the, do they have the set prices up? I'm just looking to see if I can find the collections themselves. I don't see collection pricing up yet. So that, presumably it'll be a multiplier. But yeah, so that's the pricing information. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. You're going to make your list after stream. It looks like you can add to a wish list on the website, which is awfully nice. I do always love it when stuff is up for wish listing ahead of time. So they're all just labeled as currently unavailable, but add to wish list. Obviously, you do have to make an account to save your wish list, but yeah. Are there any last minute questions? Is there anything that I didn't cover? Do you have any, do you want to express or request any opinions? I think I told you all my favorites. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Look at this. You know, they say you gotta catch them all, but I don't see how you possibly could. There's too many. My camera can't catch them all. I'll tell you that much. The camera is failing miserably to catch them all. Can you see my comparison I mentioned to the Magician and Dragon Darts? Oh yeah, I didn't actually do that on swatch sticks, so I did it on my nail. But hang on a second, let me grab the Magician. I can do that real quick for you. I just have to find the Magician. Here it is. All right, so I will go ahead and do this, and it'll be right beside it. Okay. Dragon Darts and Ceaseless Edge are on your wish list already, Jester Core? Good choices. Naiwa, your wish list is all set. What are you getting? Tell me. Tell me. As I recall, with Magician I did want 3 coats. So Magician is a little bit less opaque. So first coat, I am going to have to do a couple of coats for you to sort of... Actually, you know what? Let me just do 1 coat and then... maybe I can just do 1 coat and then black underneath or something. It's not quite 100% the way it looks, though. Yeah, it's better to build up a couple of coats. Most of it is on your wish list, Naiwa? Yeah, May. Magician is more sheer. It's very buildable, but I recall needing 3 coats for Magician, and yeah, I definitely was fine with just 2 coats on Dragon Darts. like the base is a different color. Like Magician base is very much a navy blue. It's a dark blue, but it's a straight up blue. Whereas Dragon Darts has a teal base. And there's more like the shimmer. I don't know if there's actually more quantity wise, but the shimmer in the Magician is definitely like more dominant, so you get a lot more of that red shimmer. And then of course the magnetic pigment itself is holographic rather than an ice blue metallic. So it sort of like, it vibes like it's in the same family. It's similar. They're definitely, you know, they're not like, oh wow, those are wildly different, but they're definitely different enough for me that I would. So here's sort of how I make decisions about purchasing. Like if I have one and I'm debating about the other, my question I ask myself is, if I owned both of these, is there a situation where I would be reasonably debating between the two and deciding to use one rather than the other based on the polish itself and the way it looks? So are they similar enough that I can say, nah, this one isn't quite doing what I want for this mani. I want this other one instead. That's sort of how I think of it. And so for these two, I would say they do not look the same to me. Like they definitely have a different vibe. I would be able to say, this one isn't quite doing it for me for this mani. I want this other one. So yeah, like they're definitely, I can see why, like you look at them and you go, hey, those are kind of similar, but they definitely feel different. There was another, does Magician do well with black under? You definitely can. It does darken it up quite a bit though, because the black, if you do black and then just one coat of the Magician, you basically end up with the red shimmer really dominating. Now, if you wanted to use less of the polish, and, you know, have like some kind of a creme undie, what I would actually do is color match the base. So I would do like a navy blue, either creme or acrylic as a base for this, if you wanted to use less of the magnetic nail polish to, you know, to have it go longer, or use fewer coats of it. But yeah, like if you put like a coat of, I don't know, like Hollow Taco Shady Navy, or maybe cracked polishes. They've got a crelly that's called Rolling in the Deep. It's a navy blue crelly. You could do one or the other of those underneath this, and then just do like one coat of the magnetic, and that would be probably quite nice. But yeah, if you do black, then the whole color story changes for that. It becomes basically red. All right. That's everything, I think. If you have any other questions or you want any other comparisons or anything like that, you can hit me up in my DMs. You can comment on this once it's posted. You can holler at me in Discord. As I say, this all becomes available tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Time at arcanalacquer.com. Thank you all for coming out and hanging out with me. And let me know what you got. And I want to see your pictures of them too. Okay, bye.